The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are, it's another Thursday. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. We welcome you aboard to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is where we get together each week at this time, and we talk back live to you, and you can get in be part of the show as well. Now, we thank you so much for being along with us, and we are going to get you involved. As I said in the show, we do all the time, and it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to help us all along too as well. You can get other people involved in the show. Now, we get together, have a little conversation, anything that you want to talk about. Now, all you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, your telephone, or even a tablet. You can type in whatever you want to type in. I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Why? Not only because we like you, is because that we want to make sure that you're on the same page with us, okay? And you can talk about anything you want to talk about. Now, we put that out there for you because there may be something in particular that you want to talk about. And if that's the case, you just type it in there and we'll see you and we'll talk about it because it's important to you. It's important to us. So get ready and let's get started right now because that's what the business is all about, getting things rolling right now. We've got a good show planned for you. And those of you who are just joining us for the very first time, we thank you for doing so, along with our people who've been with us all of these years. Of course, we never stop thanking you. But let me chat with the people who have been around or haven't been around or just joining us maybe for the very first time. Now, the show is what we're doing right now. I'm in the prep mode. So anytime at all, you can take your keyboard and you can type in whatever you want to talk around and we'll acknowledge that. And I think that's a fair thing to do. Not only will you get a chance to talk to me, but you'll talk to everyone who'll come in the room and you can talk to, you can make friends with everyone because a lot of people have made friends here. We've got to know each other here. We've become one big family. And so if there's anything in particular that you want to talk about, I don't care what it is. It could be any kind of subject at all. But just type it in there and we'll see you. Now, those of you who have been with us for the first time, again, thank you for being so. And again, for you newcomers, we're on two different platforms. We're live here on YouTube and Facebook. So wherever you're watching us, we thank you for being along with us. And stay with us and tell your family and friends about it. Now, I can tell you how you can do that. Tell your family and friends because they may be a member on Facebook. They could be followers on YouTube. Now, wherever you're watching us, what we want you to do is cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on. Okay. In the case of Facebook, they call it tagging, but it's the same idea. You cut and paste the platform, and the platform being the link of where you are. Right? You cut and paste that and send it to as many friends as you would like. It doesn't matter. The more, the merrier. We would love that. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, they'll come back again and again. And you can do that with your family and friends as well. You've got people that you know on Facebook. You got people that you know on YouTube, and you're right there right now. Cut and paste the platform and send it to them as many as possible. If you can't send to all of your friends, at least some of them, and each week a little bit at a time, and until you reach the zenith. Okay, but in the meantime, get as many as you can, and we really would appreciate that. Got a lot of things planned talking today, and in conjunction with talking to you, we also do our little thing here that we do on the show. And one of the things that we do that we never neglect is sports. And we have a particular person that does that for us. Brian Camp is going to be here live with the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. And there's a lot to talk about, I'm sure. And he's going to lay them out to you. Now, if you have any questions at all for Brian, anything that's sports related, please get them ready because when he comes in, you could get a chance to meet him, providing you're watching us on YouTube. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see him right on the screen, and you can talk to him at the same time. It's not the same case for Facebook. Okay, we don't have that, but you'll hear everything he says, and you can still ask the questions. You can still talk to him. So if you have those questions, get them all ready, and he'll have the answers for you. And if by some chance or some reason he doesn't have the answers tonight, he'll get them for you, and you'll get those answers at another later date. But in the meantime, he'll answer as many as he can. And if you have them, get them ready because I'm looking forward to it myself. That's coming up not too far away. By the way, it's coming up in this half hour of the show. So look forward to that. That's all coming in. And of course, later on in the program, we have a few other things that we do too. Coming up, we have this day in history. Now, here we are in the month of November, November 13th. That's a lucky number, isn't it? November 13th is the day. And on this day, something happened way back when. And we're going to talk about that because we have a laundry list of all of those things that happened way back then on this day in history. So that's coming up later on in the program, not too far away. Okay. Stick with us. And before the show is over, we have those movies that we talk about. Now, each week we go into the Turner Classic Movie Vault. And we go there and we pick out the best movies that we could find. The best that I think it's good that you should watch them and or something worthwhile watching. Classic movies. Now, the reason why we do this is because the weekend is here before you know it. It'll be here before you know it. And a lot of you like to do something on the weekends, whatever it is that you do it. One of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some movies. You want to sit back, relax. Maybe you're at your job toiling all week long across the board, Monday through Friday, and you may have the opportunity to take the whole weekend off. Some of you do, some of you don't. But if you're one of those ones that have the opportunity to take care of the whole weekend for yourself, one of the things you may want to do is catch up on some movies. Now, those movies that I select, as I said, come from the vault of the Turner Classic Movies, my picks of the week for your weekend. That's coming up later on in the program. So here you have it. All of those things coming up, and you and I against the world. We thank you so much. I want to say hello to all of you who are coming in. See you guys on Facebook and you guys on YouTube. Now, you got to know I see everyone when they come in. All right? I do see you when you come in. I know you're there. But a lot of you may watch the show and say, you know something? He asked for a little conversation, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I could understand that, particularly if you're here for the very first time. So here's what I do out of respect to all of you and respect to your privacy. Even though I see you come in, I will not call out your name. I will not acknowledge you, or I will not try to rope you into the conversation. That would be totally up to you. I will see you, and that's it. Unless, of course, you say something first, and then that tells us that you're ready to talk. But if you're not one of those people that are ready to talk just yet, and you just want to sit back and watch the show, by all means, as long as you're out there. As long as you're out there, that's all we think about. That's all we care about, as long as you're out there. And whenever you're ready to do it, you'll do it in your very own time. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We're not going to embarrass you or anything. We won't call your name out. You watch the show, relax. But if you feel like getting involved in conversation, we welcome you. We hope that, eventually that you will. But we have a lot of people that do, and we talk to them. So, all right. I hope you feel comfortable about that. I hope you do. As I said, here we are in the month of November. And I may say first, and I always do this, And I hope in just about a couple of weeks I don't have to mention it anymore. But you already know that the flu season is already here, right? It's already underway. Flu season is underway. It's not on its way, it's underway. And I may say that the flu vaccinations are on the market and they're ready whenever you are. Okay, so all you have to do is go to your pharmacist, and you may be in an area where all you have to do is just walk in and say, I just want to take the flu shot, which is okay. I know here in New York, we have the options. We have the option of either just walking right in and taking the shot, or making the appointment, depending on you. That's your choice. But if you don't have that luxury and you're only in an area where you can only make the appointment, that's okay too. But make it right away as quick as possible. Make your appointment. And when you make the appointment, keep the appointment for your flu shot. Also, the COVID-19 vaccination is already in effect too. You can take that as well. And if you desire to take that as well, you could do it two ways. You could take the vaccination shot one week and then maybe the next week the COVID shot, or vice versa. Or you can take both at the same time, one in each arm. Yes, you can. A lot of people say, hey, I've heard about it, but I wasn't sure that you can do that. You can do that. And they will ask you that too when you go in to take your shot. Do you want to take both? You want to take one, or whatever, And if you desire to do that, you can take them both at the same time. All right. Me, I don't know. I just like to take one at one time and one at the other time, but I always take mine early. Now, we told you about this at the tail end of August, the beginning of September, when the flu shots came into effect. The COVID vaccinations weren't in effect immediately because they were fighting over it. It got political. They were wondering whether or not they were going to release it to the public. And that just leads me to remind you that if you so decline to take your flu shots and your COVID shots, please take them. For those of you who want to decline from all of that and say, no, I'd rather not, it's not for me, and that's okay. That's your call. Everyone has the call, whether they want to do it or not. But stay with what you know, and don't try to sway anyone from not taking the shot, especially if they want to take it, if they desire to take it. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what you heard on the other side, that you may turn into a zombie or there's a chip in it or whatever it is. It's not true. It's not true. It can only help you. You're right. That's my belief. That's the belief of everyone around here. I think some of my producers believe that. I don't know if all of them, but that's their problem. That's their thing. Just like it's your thing, whatever you want to do. Okay. So keep that in mind. To take your flu shots, just go to your pharmacist and make the appointment if that's the only way that you can do it, or you could do either way, walk right in and take it just like that. But do it right away because, as I said, I'll say it again, it's underway right now. The weather has gotten chilly and the flu season is underway, not on its way. It's underway. So whenever you can do that, do it as soon as possible. Capiche? All right. On this month, I should say, of November, here we are, we're celebrating Native American Heritage Month. And for those of you who are under that umbrella, like me, I have the blood, this is what we're celebrating. And there's a lot of history behind that. And these are the people who settled here before the rest of us. The rest of us came from someplace else. All of us came from someplace. But the Native Americans, they were the first settlers here. And that's why we're celebrating Native American Heritage Month. Okay. And we have Military Family Month, too. That's another thing that we're looking upon, too. Now, you may be part of a military family. So this is your month for military and the people. We already had this week, we already celebrated Veterans Day. And just in case I didn't do it, happy Veterans Day to all of the people, the men and women who have served this country with distinction. We thank you so much. We thank you for your service. And so a belated happy Veterans Day to you. But we still, all this month, talked about Military Family Month. So that's what we're celebrating too. Also, health-wise, National Diabetes Month. If you're under that umbrella, of course, you want to make sure that you are taking all of the medications that you're supposed to be taking. If you are a diabetic, if you're pre-diabetic, see what you can do just to curb it. It can be curbed. It sure can. See your doctor on a regular basis. Make sure your blood is checked and see what they got for you and follow the doctor's orders, recommendations. Sometimes we fall out of whack with the doctor. I do. I got to be honest with you. I do sometimes, but I try to bounce back. All right. So that's one of the other things. And the other thing, too, we're talking about is National Alzheimer Disease Month. And maybe you have a loved one who are under that umbrella, and you may want to start a crusade and with other people and let them know about it, even if they don't have relatives or loved ones that suffer with Alzheimer's. You could also tell the story that you could speak for your loved one that can't speak for themselves. All right, so get a crusade going and let everyone know about that. Okay, if there's anything I could do in that department, please let me know. Sally Kirkland, the effervescent blonde actress who was nominated for the independent film Anna in 1987, has died. Her representative, Michael Green, confirmed that Kirkland died early Tuesday morning in Palm Springs, California. She was put on hospice last week after suffering a fall in the shower in October that resulted in injuries to her ribs and foot. And she had previously been diagnosed with bone infections that had also spread to her bloodstream, as well as dementia. She was 84. It's time right now, as I promised, to get together because Brian Camp is here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And again, let me remind you, if you have any questions, any sports related questions, Brian is the man to talk to. He has all the answers. And here he is right here, coming from live from Charlotte, North Carolina. You know something, Brian? I asked you very nicely, don't send the snow over here. You had some snow a couple of days ago.
We sure did. It was unexpectedly.
I asked you very nicely, don't shift it over here. But it wasn't bad. We only got some flakes.
We had flakes, but the flakes lasted for like 10 minutes and everything. It shocked everybody. It's like, where's this coming from? So, but it didn't last long. So I'm glad that it didn't last long, but it was
Yeah,
a shocker. It was kind of chilly. It's beginning to warm up a bit, just a tad bit. The high
yeah,
today was only 68, 69 degrees. So it
yeah.
was a tad bit warmer. That was a breakthrough. But previously, it was cold. It was cold. It
Well,
was
I know
cold.
we had a dusting in the outer boroughs of New York. So they had a little, I guess they had a little dusting, just a dusting of snow.
Oh,
In
okay.
Manhattan, we didn't get anything at all, just flakes.
It didn't stick. Okay, well, that's
No.
good. Good. But New York City is ready for stuff like that because New York
Yeah,
have these big old trucks, these stand trucks where in case if something happens, they're ready to rock and roll and everything. So,
that's
so,
right.
yep,
That's right.
yep.
Okay, so what do you got for us today?
Got some things here. Got some things to talk about. We got some awards to give out. MVP awards and stuff like that. First, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. And I say that sincerely around the world because it could be what? Right now it's what? 8:10, I mean 8:15. It could be 2:15 somewhere in Europe, or maybe going backwards in California or Hawaii. It could be 2:15 p.m. in Hawaii, where it's bright. So depending on where you are at, we don't say that lightly and everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let me get to some sports. The NFL, New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft welcomed Ron Gronkowski, the tight end who helped win many Super Bowls for the New England Patriots, is back at Gillette Stadium to sign a ceremonial one-day contract to retire as a member of the New England Patriots. So he want to retire. That's where he made his fame from. That's where he made his these spectacular catches, and he's going to retire. He's going into the Hall of Fame eventually. We got to wait for a couple more years, but he's going to retire as a New England Patriots. In the NBA, some sad news: we lost two legends. We lost Leonard R. Lenny Wilkins, transition at his home in Seattle, where he was a former Seattle Sonic star who won an NBA title there in 1979. Wilkins' impact on the Seattle community is memorialized, excuse me, with a statue outside of Climate Pledge Arena and a great name after him. Now, the Brooklyn native who went to Boys High School in Brooklyn, New York, he's a native, celebrated with a moment of silence. That this is the NBA celebrated him on Sunday, this past Sunday, in a moment of silence during NBA games on Sunday. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame 3 times. 3 times. He got his plaque up there 3 times as a player in 1989, as a coach in 1998, and part of the Olympic 1992 Dream Team in 2010. He will be missed. He was a very good basketball player as well, too. 4-time NBA star, All-Star Michael Ray Richardson, who was banned from the league for drug use, also transitioned early this week from prostate cancer in Lawton, Oklahoma, at the age of 70. He is considered the greatest NBA player that has never been inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's how good he was. He was that good. But when you as talented as he was, and he was talented, I watched him. He used to play for the Knicks. He used to play for the New Jersey Nets and the Golden State Warriors. He was talented, but every time he was like slowed down with drugs and everything. His nickname was Sugar. He had an 8-year career. It seemed like it was longer, but during the stints of being suspended because of drugs, it shortened his career. He won the 1985 Comeback of the Year award. Our prayers and our condolences to the Wilkins family and to the Richardson family as well. In Major League Baseball, Cleveland Guardian pitcher Luis Ortiz appeared in federal court on charges of accusing him, no, not again, and teammate Emmanuel Class of taking the bribes to help associates on their native Dominican Republic. When is this going to stop? My goodness. When prop bets and place on pitches and they threw and little tiny bets, but tiny bets lead to bigger stuff. Now, the United States migrated Judge Donald Cabell in Boston granted Ortiz his release, but with several conditions, including that he surrender his passport. Surrender his passport. Restricted to travel to the Northeast and post of $500,000 bail and $5,000 of it secure. When are these people going to learn? When I say these people, doesn't make a difference what nationality you are. And I say these people, all of you. You can't get away with this. You can't bet on these little things. I understand you want to make some money, but there's other ways of doing it. So now, more than likely, he will be banned from baseball eventually, but they got to go through the process. And congratulations to Shohei Ohtani, who wins his 3rd consecutive MVP, his 4th overall, as he snatched the MVP and got a World Series ring. So congratulations to him, for the Dodgers, of course, but that's another story. And congratulations to Aaron Judge, who wins his 2nd consecutive MVP, his 3rd overall. This just came moments ago. And they are now MVPs, one for the National League, one for the American League. This thing in sports, November 13th, 1958, New York City Mayor Robert Wagner announced plans to a new basketball league called the Continental League to fill the void created by the city's Giants and Dodgers, who moved out west. Yes, that's the same year that they moved out in 1958, Giants and Dodgers, and left the Yankees here all by themselves, the Yankees still remain. 1964, Bob Pettit, St. Louis Hawks center, becomes the first NBAer to score 20,000 points. 1968, A's rookie Hall of Famer, um, no, not A's, as a rookie Hall of Fame, Elvin Hayes, known as the Big E, scored 54 points in the San Diego Rockets' 122 to 120 score over the Detroit Pistons. 1968, Bob Gibson rose for the National League MVP. In 1973, Reggie Jackson wins the American League MVP unanimously and also wins in that same year the World Series MVP. That was Reggie Jackson when he was days with Oakland, where him and Charlie O. Finley, the owner, and those fighting A's, they always call them the swinging A's because they used to fight among one another. If you think the Yankees used to fight against one another, you should have been in the early 70s with that dynasty with the A's. The A's used to fight. Reggie Jackson was in both of those, the A's and the Yankees, and he used to fight with players and everything, his teammates. 1975, Willie Stargell of the Pittsburgh Pirates and Keith Hernandez of the St. Louis Cardinals share the National League MVP. 1985, Dwight Gooden, the youngest 20-game winner, wins the Cy Young Award. 1997, Ken Griffey Jr. unanimously wins the American League MVP. Birthdays on this day: 1911, Buck O'Neil, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, first base coach, Negro League for the Kansas City Monarchs, was born in Carabel, Florida. And in 1941, happy birthday to the late Mel Stoudemire, Major League Baseball pitcher, five-time All-Star, five-time World Series champion, was born in Hazleton, Missouri. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
I do remember those old days back in the 70s, and Reggie Jackson and the Yankees used to brawl all the time. I, they,
Oh yeah,
I don't think some of the Yankees liked him too well because he made that statement, "I'm the straw that stirs the drink."
yeah, he did make that statement, but of course, Reggie said that it came out the wrong way. No matter how you came out with it, if you the straw that stirred that stirs a drink, then that's what you are and everything. This is a funny. I had a conversation many years ago with my mother. My mother befriended Reggie Jackson. She liked Reggie Jackson, especially when he came to New York, because it seemed like she always said, "Why is everybody ganging up on this man?" Well, my mother didn't really know much about his days in Oakland, but Reggie was a person that did not bite his tongue. He spoke freely, didn't care if
Yep,
you like it or not.
yep.
So my mother really liked it. She really liked Reggie Jackson and everything. And I was a fan of his before she even made that statement because I used to follow his career with the A's. So when those Reggie bars was thrown out in right field in Yankee Stadium, she cheered for him because she don't like anybody bullying an athlete and everything. So that's how
I
Reggie
love
Jackson became famous.
those Reggie bars. I like them.
They were very
I,
good. Yeah,
I should have been out at Yankee Stadium when they were throwing them at him on the field, grab a few, but I think they were pretty good.
very good candy bars.
I,
Yeah,
I
and
believe I believe you may be able to still get them certain places.
yes.
We have a candy place here in New York called Economy Candy. I'm not. This is not a commercial, but
Hmm.
this is the candy store that sold candy, the kind of candy that I grew up with when I was a kid. That some of the candy that you don't see on the market today, they have them.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and so I'm pretty sure there are certain places. I'm gonna next time I'm in that area, I'm gonna see if they have any Reggie bars.
Well,
They
I
were.
know Reggie came back out with it a couple of years ago with the Reggie bar.
Mhm.
He came out with it, and he was telling people how to get them and everything. Of course, he gets the royalties because his
Yeah,
pictures on there. That the candy bar was named after him. I thought
yeah,
the what's the other candy bar that was I thought was at the Baby Ruth, but it
Baby
wasn't. It
Ruth.
wasn't right, but it wasn't after name after Babe Ruth though. I
I
thought that
know.
was,
That's what I thought. I thought the same thing.
yeah, but it wasn't though.
Same thing.
So
Yeah.
um,
Well, And he even did his own commercial or about
Yeah.
Reggie Barnes. He did his
Yeah.
own commercial.
You sure
Yep.
did. Yeah.
I wanted to,
Mr. October. Yeah.
yeah, Mr. October, right. They named him Mr. October. And believe it or not, they named Jeter Mr. November.
Yeah.
But I don't
Hmm.
think that ever stuck.
No, it never stuck like Reggie.
That
Reggie
never stuck.
Reggie Jackson was a person that it was, when very few athletes could make it in a city like New York City.
Mhm.
Reggie Jackson was made for New York City because when the bright lights start coming on, then
Yeah,
that's when you see Reggie. His heroic game 6 of the 1977
yeah,
World Series when he hit those 3 home runs early in the year. He's fighting with Billy Martin. He's fighting with Greg Nettles. He's fighting with Thurman Munson, arguing back and forth. Just straw that stirs the drink and everything. He is no doubt he had a huge ego. You know,
yeah,
but when the bright lights came on, he backed it up. He
yep.
backed it up. One of my
And
favorite plays of all time. Yeah.
and hit 3 home runs in one night in a
In
World
three
Series.
swings. Yep. 3 home runs in 3 swings. Yep.
Yep, that's right. But yeah, that was a tough time for the Yankees. They even call it the Bronx Zoo. The
Bronx Zoo. Yeah.
Bronx Zoo. That's what they called it. It was just
And the
crazy. That
owner, the manager, the players, it was crazy.
everybody got to it. I would have loved to buy tickets for those brawls. Hey, I wanted to go back and talk about this sports gambling thing because it seems to come up more and more. You would think that these guys would take a look at themselves and say, "Hey, we got two guys that were convicted, or maybe not convicted, but they were brought up on charges for these gambling uh, uh, things that they were doing."
Mhm.
And it seems to happen more and more, like it's normal now.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the government is cracking down on this. They're cracking down on sports. Sports and politics don't mix.
It
Politicians
should,
don't want athletes to come into their territory and vice versa.
yeah.
But you have the president where he wants the NFL to name the stadium after him, which is a joke.
That's a joke.
You know, he did a little play-by-play in last week's Sunday's game. It was, in honoring Veterans Day, Veterans Day weekend, and he did a little play-by-play, and you know, I ready immediately just mute the TV and continue cooking, you know. But everybody was talking about it, Now I think it was wrong. I'm going to admit, I think it was wrong for some of the fans to give him the middle finger. We have to respect the seat of the presidency. It was wrong for them to do that. You don't want to stick your finger up in midair, but you could boo him, but you don't want to make things like that and everything. It's just crazy and everything. Mr. President, just stay out. Just stay out of sports. Even though we know you're a sports fan, that you own a football team back in the '80s sometime, but you're a different person now. So
Yeah.
so
Well, getting back to the betting, the thing that I can't understand right now, this is the thing that maybe you could help me out with this. These guys are making millions of dollars. Their salaries gross to millions, millions. You know, it's not like it was in the 60s when they were in the $1 million bracket. They were making millions of dollars. And they're placing these bets that come out to be peanuts. Nothing compared to what they're making.
they say that the mob is behind this, but I dug deep into this. A lot of these athletes maybe are forced to bet on these games because you don't know what the athlete has owed to these people, whoever is in charge of the betting ring. You don't know what kind of situation that the athlete was in. You don't know if their families were threatened. You don't know whether or not they are threatened. Maybe they're being forced to bet so they could pay off their debt. We just don't know. So that's why I had to think about that hard. Um, for like example, uh, somebody who's in organized crime. I don't want to call out no ethnic group, but anybody, because organized crime could mean anybody ethnic group, and if they're running a situation of a gambling ring, and they tell the athlete, if you don't do this, then we're going to do this to you or to your family. I'm just saying that's a possibility. I'm not saying that this is what happens, but for athletes, you're right, is making a lot of money, and you're going to take a chance to ruin your career
Yeah,
over the game.
yeah,
So we don't know the inside details of it. We just don't, you know.
yeah. Well, I hope it subsides a little bit because, like you say, the game is not like it used to be, you know. And so you want to bring the game of baseball back. It's not entirely here, but you want to try to bring it back. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. Yeah. Anyway,
Mhm.
what does it look like tomorrow on your agenda?
Just got a word that I gotta come in tomorrow. I don't know what the schedule is like. I gotta look at the schedule when I come in. I will let you know. What I'll do is I'll email it to you. I'll let you know something first thing in the morning when I go in as well too.
Okay,
Mm.
that'll be great. That'll be great. Okay, so I guess I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'll pray. I'll light a candle that you'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, like last week I did something risky, but I wanted to do that and
But it
everything.
was fun. It was
It was
fun.
fun.
It
Yeah,
was fun.
and thank you for speaking and bringing life into them by giving them those encouraging words.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know something, I was a boy myself and I needed that and I
Mhm.
did get it.
Yeah,
And not everyone is going to give children what they really need. And that's what they need today.
exactly.
Need today. Encouragement too.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna say I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna say that because I have
Okay.
confidence. All
Sounds good.
right.
All
All
right
right.
then.
Take care. Have a good one. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, he's here each week at this time. And of course, a lot of you may have questions, and you can still ask the questions if you like. If you have any questions for him about sports, anything like that, feel free. Uh, and even though he's not here right now, I can get him the message. And then when he comes back tomorrow, maybe he'll have the answers for you. Okay. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And my name is Frank Allen. I'm so glad to have you aboard with us. If you're just joining us, I wish you were here earlier. All right. We don't never want you to miss the show, but we are here every Thursday at this time. So stay with us. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got sports. We did sports. All of that was done, and it was great. Civil rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson, we're going to say a little prayer for him. He was hospitalized on Wednesday in Chicago. Jackson is under observation right now for progressive supernuclear palsy, which is something rare. It's also known as PSP, and it's a disorder. He has managed to he had managed for more than a decade. He suffered with for more than a decade. And the civil rights activist is initially diagnosed. He was initially diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. However, he was diagnosed with PSP in April of this year. So we are going to say a prayer. We'll send up a lot of prayers. Do whatever you can. Burn candles or whatever it is that you do. And let's go out for the Reverend Jesse Jackson. We hope Godspeed that he'll be taken care of in a positive way and be back on the scene with us. Okay. All right. I think it's about that time. Don't you think? It's about that time because we're going to go back in time and we're going to go back in time on this day in history. And on this day in history in 1952, KLBK TV, Channel 13 in Lubbock, Texas, it's a CBS station, begins broadcasting. On this day in history in 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court rules racial segregation on buses in Alabama unconstitutional. On this day in history in 1966, comedian Flip Wilson makes his debut appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, and he returns 10 times. On this day in history in 1967, Carl Stokes is sworn in as the first major city black mayor of Cleveland, Ohio. On this day in history in 1977, the final Al Cap comic strip of Little Adna started from 1934 to 77. In 1979, Ronald Reagan announces his candidacy for U.S. president in New York City. In 1981, Ringo Starr releases his single, Wreck My Brain, written and produced by George Harrison in the UK. In 1987, Sonny and Cher perform together for the final time, singing I Got You, Babe, on Late Night with David Letterman. On this day in history, 1995, GoldenEye, the 17th James Bond film released, starring Pierce Brosnan for the first time, and Robbie Coltrane and Judi Dench. In 1997, The Lion King opens at the new Ambassador Theater in New York City. In 1999, Toy Story 2, starring Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, premieres in the United States. In 2002, Eminem releases the single Lost Lose Yourself from the soundtrack of 8 Miles. That's the first rap song to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song. In 2020, pop singer Harry Styles becomes the first solo male featured on the cover US Vogue magazine. That same year, singer Kylie Minogue becomes the first woman to top the UK album chart over 5 consecutive decades with Disco. In 2024, Gladiator 2, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, and Denzel Washington, receives the royal premiere with King Charles III in London. And in 1920, actor Jack Elam was born in Miami, Arizona. I didn't know there was in Miami, Arizona, but that's what it says here. And he died in 2003. Film director and producer Gary Marshall was born on this day in 1934 in New York City. He died July 19th in 2016. He was 81. In 1939, on this day in history, jazz drummer Idris Muhammad was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and he died in 2014. On this day in history, 1940, soul singer Baby Washington, who's still alive and well, and she was born in Bangburg, South Carolina. She's 85 today. In 1944, R&B singer Timmy Thomas was born in Evansville, Indiana. He died in 2022. In 1948, actress Sheila Fraser, if you remember her, she played in Superfly, and she was born in New York City. She's 77 today. And USA Attorney General Merrick Garland was born on this day in 1952 in Chicago, Illinois. He's 73 today. Actress Whoopi Goldberg was born on this day in 1955 in New York City. She's 87. I'm sorry. Nah, I don't want to boost that. She's 70 years old today. Happy birthday, Whoopi. TV host Jimmy Kimmel was born on this day in 1967 in Brooklyn, New York. He's 58. In 1934, actress and dancer Ginger Rogers weds actor Lou Ayres, and they got divorced in 1940. In 1960, Sammy Davis Jr. marries actress Mae Britt, or My Britt, as they call her, in Hollywood, California. They got divorced in 1968. In 1993, actress Michelle Pfeiffer weds television and writer and producer David E. Kelly in Santa Barbara, California. In 2004, The View former co-host Star Jones weds banker Al Reynolds in New York City. They got divorced in 2008. In 1922, on this day in history, American architect Frank Lloyd Wright divorces socialite Catherine Tobin after 33 years of marriage. In 2011, Torrey Hart divorces actor and comedian Kevin Hart after 8 years of marriage. And 1969, I'm sorry, switch the numbers. 1996, jazz and blues musician Bill Doggett, who was famous for that 1950 sound Honky Tonk, dies of a heart attack at the age of 80. And finally, 1999, Don Mills of the Mills Brothers dies of pneumonia at the age of 84 years old. And that's what's happening on this day in history. And those of you who know something that happened on this day in history, please let us know. We don't know everything, you know. We just gave you what we found out. And if you know something on the top of your head that you would like to relay to us, by all means, type it in right now. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll relay it. We'll relay it to others. Okay. Okay, you're just watching us. You're just tuning in. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're talking back live to you. We thank you for being along with us on this day because there's so many things to do. I have an email address and a telephone number. I want to give that to you because a lot of you may want to get in touch with me for whatever reason. All right, because some of you don't want to talk live with us. You can email me, and you can email me about anything you want. If you have a birthday coming up or whatever it is. So I'm gonna start off with the email address first. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled Allan. That's a very important detail because you know you can spell Allan different ways. Allan. Prod is PROD. That's short for productions. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Again, use this anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And of course, you could use it for any reason. If you have a birthday coming up, if you have some kind of social event in your community that you want us to help you out with, to promote, you can just let us know, give us all that information, and we'll take care of it for you. Anything at all. Even if you just want to say hi, that would be great. Just a lot of people just like emails just to say hi. And that's okay. We love that. So use it for any reason you want. Just be diplomatic, please. Okay. And so do that and keep all of that information in your devices, your electronic devices, such as your, of course, your I don't know, your laptop, your desktop, you know, your computer, tablet, telephone. Keep it in all of them. If you have all of them, put them in all of them. This way, if one doesn't work, you have the other one. Let me give you that email address once again. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I say that because all of you know by now the government shutdown is over. It's over. It was signed in last night, late last night. And so things are not going to go back that quickly. You know, you got to give it a little momentum, give it a little time to warm up before things getting back. But I can tell you this. I did my own research today. I can tell you this. For those of you who are collecting SNAP benefits for your children, for, you know, to feed your family, the good news is that you'll be getting it for the month of November if you didn't get it. Now, some people got half of it already. Now, listen to this. Some people got half of it already for the month of November. Okay. And if that were you, keep in mind that you're going to get the other half at the tail end, if not the tail end of the month, if not at the tail end of November, you'll certainly get it through the next payment cycle, which in that case will be December. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right? So everything is going to open up again. We keep our fingers crossed. At the airports, there's still delays there. They're still happening over there. But hopefully by the time, and we've got 2 weeks before people start going off traveling, hopefully by that time, it'll be enough momentum to get started where you can go fly back normal again. All of the people will be coming back. The airline stewardess, the flight attendants, all of the people in the air traffic control towers, they will be there. And it's going to take a little time. Just give it time, because hopefully by the time you're ready to head out for your Thanksgiving holiday, everything will be back to normal, at least better than it is now. Okay, so that's good news. So all of you who are collecting SNAP, I just gave you that news. If you didn't get the full benefit, you only got half of it, you will get the benefit, of course, at the end of November, at the tail end of or at the beginning of December. Now, those of you who didn't get anything at all, it would probably, I would imagine it's probably the same thing. You'll probably get it at the tail end, or you'll get double for the next month. Okay, keep that in mind. And we got good news too. I always spread good news, and I'm glad, because after 50 days of waiting, Representative Adela Grihava, I have a hard time pronouncing her name, but she is a representative who was finally sworn in after 50 days. They took their time to swear her in, and she finally got sworn in into Congress Wednesday, and bringing the end to the contentious chapter in the U.S. House of Representatives that includes a lawsuit and rising temperature inside the Capitol over the seating. So she's in there now, and now she didn't waste any time, because she signed those petitions. She signed those petitions to get the Epstein trial out, the Epstein files. And now Washington is nervous. They're nervous about it. And she promised she would do that. And she did it. She signed it. And the fight is on now. And you notice that they didn't say too much about the government being shut down or reopened. And the reason why it was shut down, ladies and gentlemen, you got to go figure things out. You don't have to be a rocket science to realize that it was a distraction. The shutdown was a distraction, so they would say, well, we don't have to talk about the Epstein files anymore. But guess what? Emails came out. Things are starting to come out now, and they're shivering. They don't know what to say. They had a very important emergency meeting in Washington. I believe it was yesterday or early today. I'm not sure, but they're trying to figure things out. And I could see a lot of nerves are being rattled right now. And if you think you can get away with a lot of things, you can't. You can't get away with everything that you do. You know, what you reap is what you sow. Or what you sow is what you reap. I should say it that way, because we reap what we sow. You know, and it looks like a lot of things are looking good. Now, that doesn't mean that you slack off. That doesn't mean that you slack off. You have to, this is the time to even fight more. Fight more because there's a democracy involved here. There's the Constitution that's involved here. There's freedom that's involved here, and we don't want to lose it. And if we do what we did this a week ago, go out and vote, and when 2028 or 2026 come around, because even Steve Bannon said that if they lose 2026 and 2028, some of us are going to jail. He had the sense enough to know that, at least. He must know something, because we know that anyway. I mean, we see, but we're thinking it out. We're thinking it, but he said it out loud. He said it, I've heard him. He said, if we lose 2026, which is the midterm, and then 2 years after that, 2028, some of us are going to jail, including me. That's what he said, including me. The parties, every party comes to an end. Every party comes to an end. And while they're giving the lavish parties, the great Gatsby's and all of the other, with the dancing girls coming out of those huge champagne glasses, yeah, whooping it up. And I said last week on the show, you just keep whooping it up, baby. Just keep whooping it up. You know, just keep whooping it up. This week was Comedy Central week, and everybody's on them. From everybody from Jimmy Kimmel to Stephen Colbert, and even the people, the cartoons, South Park, are coming out with great material all the time. It was a funny week. Remember when uh, that Pumpkinhead or whatever you want to call him, he has nicknames, right? Remember when he was in Japan and he was walking around. You remember him? And even the prime minister of Japan had to guide him. He was walking straight. As a matter of fact, he looked like one of those robo. You ever see one of those robo vacs? They're tiny. You can get them. You can get them for your house. They're robo vacs, right? You turn them on, and they just go over the house and clean the floors, and it'll keep going until it bumps into an object, and then it goes someplace else. Well, that's what the taco man looked like. He looked like a RoboVac. All right, that was in Japan. This week, this week, do you remember Sleepy Joe? Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe? Well, we had a Sleepy Joe. Now we have a dozing Don sitting up there in. Did you see the picture? Sitting up there in the Oval Office, sleep, while a big meeting is going on. And you know something? It was a press conference. The press was there. See, when you're in a press conference, you want to look your best. You want to be your best. You don't want to, because let me tell you something. The press will go away. They'll take that and run, and that's what they did. So now we got a dozing Don. All right, we had a Sleepy Joe. Now we got a dozing Don. And my favorite, when he got booed in Washington at a Commanders game.
Please raise your right hands. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy that's running the country right now. And you guys got to remember, you can't, you got to, you have to touch your own strings, touch your own strings, touch your strings, be your own man, be your own woman. All right. That reminds me, there was a musical called My Fair Lady. And back there in the 60s, when that movie was released, it was a soundtrack album. And the cover on the album was a cartoon image of a man in a top hat, with the strings, a puppeteer working his little female doll. And on top of that was another puppeteer controlling him as he controlled his female doll. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say is you got to break the strings, be your own man, be your own person. Don't let anyone tell you that you should do it their way, or I will destroy you. Forget about it. I got movies. I'm running behind. I got movies, and I only have three this week. I have a movie called The Setup. The Setup in 1949, starring Robert Ryan, Audrey Tautou, and George Tobias. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I also have Caged back in 1950 with Eleanor Parker, Agnes Moorehead, and Ellen Corby. And that's Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 3 a.m. Eastern. And The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock movie starring Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. If you can't watch these movies in real time, if you still have your cable box, use that, record it, and watch it at your own very own convenience on your own time. All right. And of course, these movies are great. And then you can go on Turner Classic Movies and watch all the pay-per-view movies or free movies and what have you. We give you the movies one more time. It's the setup. Robert Ryan, Audrey Tata, and George Tobes. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And then there's Cage with Eleanor Parker, Agnes Moorehead, and Ellen Corby. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 3 a.m. Eastern. And then you have the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds, with Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can watch that Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. I hope you like these movies. Now, that's going to do it for me. But you know what? I'm going to come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, because I will be here with the coffee hour. And with fingers crossed, Brian Camp will be here with me as well with the latest developments in today's world of sport. If not, it'll be covered anyway. We'll make sure of that. And then meet me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will surely be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We look forward to seeing you then as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to go on to my Facebook or my YouTube channel, and click on and subscribe to it. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.